Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to European Racing Series. This is Lobby 2, and we are here at the second test race of the season in Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix. And we've got 19 drivers today, and we got a different grid than last week. It was mainly based on, obviously, what happened last week. So the drivers have been moved around. Some have been moved down to this lobby. Some have been moved up. And stuff like that. So, you know, this is going to be very, very exciting. So a little bit about the track before we head on to a hot lap. It's based in the Ardennes countryside. And the first race was back in 1925. But the first Formula 1 race was in 1950. Which hosted the first ever Formula 1 World Championship. However, it still remains the longest track on the F1 calendar, even though it's changed layouts pretty much. So, let's go and take you on board with a lap with this guy here, EOS Perel. So you've just gone past the source. There are two fast lines through the corner, and now you're going to head up the hill here into the Radion El Rouge complex. It's one that used to be the most challenging in the sport. It is easy flat now. At the moment, you'll be touching it 200 miles per hour. Now you'll be going through the Camel Straight, which is really, really simple. You get the full power. And now you're going to go to the left, right, left set of kinks of corners. It looks daunting when you go through Le Comp. And then turn through 7 and 9. And Pavel has invalidated his lap. So, that is not good. That didn't start off my things very well, did it? No. I'm not very good at following someone on a hot lap, really. To be honest. Last week's winner, last week's race winner, I believe, is in lobby 1. So, I will need to double check that. But we've got some new faces. Some which were in the last lobby, obviously lobby 3. Some in lobby 1. I believe Matt was in lobby 1 last week, or he didn't turn up last week. I'm not sure, but here he is, Matt in the McLaren, and he has invalidated, obviously. We've also got Jacobo, that's how you say it. I don't know, I'm rubbish at names. We also have Meta. I believe Meta was here last week. Cowlick in the Haas. We got, obviously, Pavel's back. We got Terrible Bob. We got Darian Alfie as well. Hydrodan's making his return as well. He was in Tier 2 last season. Obviously, another one that's, excuse me, just invalidated their lap. We have got Wonder Tomb. What? I can't pronounce his name. He's in the Red Bull anyway. And another new driver in this lobby who actually won lobby 3 last week. So it wasn't really a surprise that he got put up to lobby 2. It's Ace in a Mercedes, and he's just gone into the pits. Because he invalidated. So time set so far for these guys. It is a 1 minute 42.0 from set. But they're close to in the top 4 at the moment. Aluminium, 26 thousandths quicker. Then we got Zorro. And then Rage Quit, who did quite well last week as well. He got one of my drivers of the days. So there is 2 DRS straights. One going through La Source, and then one going towards Radion El Rouge and the Camel Straight. And the tyres that have been used today are the C3s, the C2s and the C1s. The softs, which are the C3s, mediums, which are the C2s, and the hards, which are the C1s. The mediums are only 6/10 slower, with the hards 1.3 seconds slower. And who can remember what happened in 1998, where there was so much carnage in the opening lap, causing 14 cars to be involved in an opening incident, and that meant the race had to be restarted. I wonder if we could see anyone going into the 141s. I was not expecting someone to go into the 1 minute 42s this early on, but they're all keen, I presume. Most people are going out again, apart from Nick Zana. Now, Nick Zana needs to step it up a bit. He got involved in quite a few incidents last week, Nick Zana, but, you know, I mean, it's something that we all get involved in from time to time. We make mistakes and stuff like that, so hopefully he's learned his lesson. Rage Quit's gone into the pits as well. Zorro, Aluminium, and Set. I think the main people that are out are the ones who are yet to set a lap time. I think Max Form just come out as well with Meto invalidating its outlap. Now, apologies of the fastest lap is still popping up on the screen as aluminium. It's not that. It's just a glitch with the game. So I do apologise about that. And I don't really want to go on Race Direct because that's just a little bit of a pain otherwise. So, apologies about that. Now, there is one more race next week as well for the test races. And then, straight after that, the drivers will be then put into their respectable tiers for the season. And I do believe they have enough sign-ups for 4 tiers now, which is, honestly, it's absolutely crazy, I've got to say. So fair play to everybody that has signed up. Obviously, sign-ups are now closed for those of you that are wondering, because I know a few of you will be asking questions saying, like, when does sign-ups close? But it is already closed, so it's a bit too late. So the top 12 separated by 0.8 of a second right now on the track. I wonder if any of the guys were still on a lap that are going to improve. I do see Set going out, though. Meto is just going through Bruchel now. And the next corner you're going to hit, really, is the corner of No Name. And the corner of No Name, I don't know why they call it. But what I've learned from another commentator who commentates for PS4 is that there are multiple names for that particular corner. But since I can't pronounce the rest, that's why I'm going to call it No Name. And yeah, Meto is about... Is there anyone that is third on a lap than anybody else? I don't think so. We got an Alpha potentially of Hydra, but he's coming across the final few corners and he's going to the pits anyway. And Darian comes across the line now, and he's about to start his lap. Meto is actually going through Blanchimont now. Now this is where you can really go full throttle. He's running out of fuel though, so I won't be surprised if he is the one that goes into the pit lane. So he comes across the line. He's going to take the shortest run to the line possible and then puts in P4 at the moment. What about Ace? He's going through, just through Paul Frere. I almost thought it was Stabilo for a minute there, but the corners look quite similar. But no, it's Paul Frere now going through to Blanchimont. Max might be a little... Oh, Max! As soon as I cut to Max, he spun through Pouon by the looks of things. He might have hit the curb a little bit there. But anyway, let's go back on board with Ace as he goes through the bus stop chicane now. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve for him being in a lobby with faster drivers. But let's see if he can pick up the challenge. He comes across the line now. And I don't think he was happy with that lap because he didn't enable DRS and he was on 0 ERS. I don't think he was meant to do that. But not a bad lap considering. 9/10 slower than P1 at the moment. And his teammate is on par at the moment. And no one else is on a lap at the moment. So, yes. Now, I forgot to do predictions for qualifying last week. And sometimes I usually thought it was for the better. But I am going to make a bold suggestion and do it now. So, my predictions. I think Set's going to be on pole. Soro, Nixana. Those are my bold predictions. I think Nixana could get it in quite quickly. But I don't think Nixana's going to challenge for like P2 or P1 because obviously there are some faster drivers on the grid. Got a few people in the chat supporting the Slovakian boys. It's great to see that we have a lot of the guys supporting certain people as well. Paddock as well, I believe, raced last week, but he invalidated. TX is, I think, no, he's not on an outlap at the moment. Who is also on an outlap that I can follow? Hydra's in 14th at the moment, though, as he goes through the right-hand curb. Yep, he's on his outlap at the moment, though. But it's weird because he's on 2-lap old softs, so I'm guessing he's using his old set of softs, potentially, by the looks of things. Because everybody else that was doing it outlap would be on older softs, but, well, newer softs, but we'll see anyway. Now, obviously, the weather, I need to stop saying obviously, but there we go. The weather is set to dynamic, which means anything can happen. Anything can happen, really, with the weather. And since everyone's on soft pretty early on, you could see wet race, maybe? If any of the drivers are in the lobby that can see the chat as well, can someone let me know about the weather, please? As Hyde is about to start his lap now as he goes through La Source now. Now, I like the Alpha engine on this game. I don't know why. There's not many people that like it, but I do. It's just awesome. I like the Ferrari engine. I like the Honda engine as well. That's why I obviously picked the Honda engine for my career mode, for my team. As with 5 minutes to go, the track will be evolving pretty soon, and it will be the calm before the storm pretty soon. So they will be putting less fuel in the car, trying to get in a lap which has obviously less traffic. And the more traffic you have, the more difficult it's going to be. So you're going to try and set a banker. And Pole Sitter's in the pits at the moment though, but he's still got time. Max did set a lap though. He's 16th at the moment though. But Darian, he needs to get a move on. Looks like for Darian in the Renault, it's going to be a one-shot qualifying for him. Which means he only gets a chance to get 1 lap unless he goes out of the pit now. So we're going to keep an eye on that, obviously. We're going to keep a watchful eye. As quite a few people are going out. I just saw Ace go out of the pit lane. We've got Burke as well, Pazik, Meto as well. They're going in quite quickly, actually. I wonder if they're going to have time to go into the pits, or if that's going to be it. Or they might just have enough to just get 2 runs in. We will see. But it's just crazy how close 6th and 7th is, look. 1,000th of a second, if you have a look. Well, 2,000 actually. 1:42.186. Meto 1:42.188. So both evenly matched tonight. But obviously, Sid is one of the longest tracks on the calendar, which means pace advantage may be increased a little bit for some of these drivers. And obviously, if it's overcast, the tyres are going to come into huge effect as well around Air Rouge and Madillon. So hopefully, no incidents. And saying that, even though I said I hope there will be incidents, knowing me, there probably will be. But we'll have to find out as the session goes on, obviously. Don't forget, there's also Lobby 1 that's happening at the same time, which is commentated by Valsetti tonight, which you can find on Valsetti Times Twitter. You can watch us both. How about that? Rage Quit's going to the pits, but that means he can be the last to set a lap, which is good. Aluminium's on his outlet right now. He's got Ferrari ahead of him. Now, they are allowed to give each other slipstream around Belgium. There are some leagues now that are starting to ban the use of slipstream. Well, to be honest, not many people in this tier use it. Well, in this lobby use it anyway. So, I mean, it wouldn't affect anything if they did decide to ban it, but they're probably not going to ban it in ERS, for those of you that are wondering. So Aluminium is warming up his tyre. As you can see, I was talking about that earlier on as well with the tyre warmth. And I think that's really going to help him on his lap because he won't spin as he goes through into La Source. And he's going to get a good braking zone as well. So thanks to all your new followers out there. We got Sparks and Goonie. So nice to see. Hope you're all having a good evening so far. And since it's a slower lobby, we may not see 141s, but we'll have to wait and see, eh? I always been commentating tier 2 recently, and it's always been quite close. So let us know in chat what you think the poll time is. What do you think the poll time is going to be? We shall see. Calvax was here last week, did pretty well as well. Luckily, Max moved out of the way of the traffic though, so that's good. Oh, Pazik got pole position. 141.9, so the first person to get into the 149s. What am I on about? 141s, there we go. You know, so that is pretty decent actually from him. Now, he was the guy that got pole position last week, so he's looking the favourite. when I was watching him around Canada, he did spin a few times. And then he did a massive comeback to around 4th or 3rd place. So, and he definitely got my driver of the day because of that. Bert did pretty well as well for comeback. Quite a few drivers just stood out to me just to have fantastic performances that could be recognised by the league admins here today. And just to let you know as well, it is reduced damage, it's not up full damage, so that means there's still going to be safety cars. Safety cars don't tend to usually go that well on this game. From experience, there's always someone that gets a 5-second penalty, and it's an absolute nightmare, and it just causes a lot of trouble. So Jacobo across the line, 38 seconds to go. So everyone's on their final lap now. A bit of a lock-up from Zora, actually. So that's not going to set him up on a good lap. Darian now, that's the man to watch out for. He needs to step it up here tonight. He really does, because he's the only one not to set a lap yet. Pavel has retired from 13th, so that is, he can't start any higher than 13th at the moment. But there could be people behind him that could beat it, but not Max Vaughan. Max has retired as well. He might have either crashed somewhere or he couldn't improve. So checker flag has dropped. Ace could not improve. He will start in P14. We're just going to see who's about to cross the line. We've got Pazik that's pulled to the side of the track. I'm just seeing Sigo. He's around, well, just about through poo on. Zora comes across the line now. Can he get pole? No, he can't. He stays. Well, he goes up to 3rd place, actually. Meta comes across the line now. He invalidates. So that is a bit of a shame. We got Cowlex in the Haas as well. There's 2 people in the 141s now with aluminium setting at 141.9 as well. And Zoro as well too. Calzak close to the 142, 141s. We've got the Renault of Jack. I'm going to call him Jack, if that's all right. So he's going to take the shortest line. Actually, no, he's going to go straight to the middle. And it's pole! 141.711 for him. That is amazing. I was not expecting that. Rage Quit has invalidated his lap time. I do believe Meto is still going. No, he's not. TX will come across the line. No, P is not going to improve. So it's just Set who's invalidated. And that's it. That is it. So your pole sitter today is Jack. Well done to him. So he beat both of the Force India. Well, it's the first time in F1 2020 that I called it Force Indias. God damn it, man. I was not meant to say that. Racing points. Or tracing points. Or pink Mercedes. Whatever you like to call them. But yeah, Jack's on pole. He's been the 2 racing points who were in the same car last week, I believe. So, here we go. Here's your results. We've got Jack from Sig, from Pazik, from Aluminium in 4th. Zoro in 5th. Calix in 6th. Nixana in 7th. Set in 8th. Burke in 9th place. Rage Quit in 10th. Then we got Meto in 11th. TX in 12th. Darian managed to get a lap in the end in 13th. Pavel in 14th. Hydra in 15th. Ace in 16th. Terrible _ Bob in 17th. Wonder Tom in 18th. And Max Form in last place. But fair play to all these drivers. 1.3 seconds separate all 19 of them. And it is a CSFL 123. Yes, it is. And for those of you asking, there is 22 laps around this circuit. And it is looking like to be bone dry here in Belgium at the moment. And I'm going to get myself a quick drink for a second because my throat's starting to get a bit dry. So I'll see you in the formation lap. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am now back for the action here in Belgium. And we're about to see the tyre strategies. Now, I've done a 50% race before, simulating it, because I wanted to find out what the strategy was. Because I like doing my research. And the best strategy around here, it's one of the tracks on the game where you can do soft to mediums. Tyre wear and tyre derogation is not too bad around this circuit. You can do an easy one stop, soft to mediums or medium to softs. So nobody will be touching the hards unless people get damage. And hards is not really the best around here. But if they do go on the hards, it's almost certain that they're going to make it to the end of the race on them. So, for those of you that are new to league racing in general, the people inside the top 10, they will have to start on the tyre that they set their fastest lap on, which is the soft compound tyres for all 10 drivers. No mixed strategies in the top 10. Outside the top 10, as someone had just got disqualified from the formation lap, and that was Pavel. And he's starting on the softs actually, as well as TX, Meto, Hydrodan, Ace, and Max Thorn. And Darian, Terrible Bob, and Wonder, the only guys to start on the medium compounded tyres outside the top 10. So, my predictions for qualifying were gone out the window. And you can see that the strategy just popped up on the screen, and yeah, it proved my point that it is an easy one stop. So, Pazik, I think, is going to go for the win today. Then I'm going to put Aluminium P2, and I'm going to put Sig P3. That's just a bold guess for predictions right now. We'll have to obviously wait and see as the session goes on. I'm doing all right today, Des. Thank you very much. Thanks for asking. And let us know your predictions in the chat on who you think is going to win this race. Thanks to all you guys that are watching. Great to see quite a few people watching on my stream. It's great. I'm loving it. Who is ready? I am ready. I'm super pumped. Are we going to see clean into La Source and into El Rouge and Radion? Probably not. But thank goodness it's on reduced. But just look, you can see the pit lane on the left-hand side. And obviously the cars on the right. The 5 red lights are on. And it's lights out and away we go. Not a long hold this time. And it's a good start from Jack going into turn 1. But the Racing Point had an awful start. The Williams had a really good dive in turn 1. Getting past the Racing Point. I said Force Indies again. I need to count how many times I use it. But the Racing Point is trying to fight back off the, I think it's the Apatowi now as well. So the Racing Point has lost a bit of ground here already. But Jack is already under a bit of pressure from P2 of Aluminium into the Kemmel Straight. But I don't think anyone has had front wing damage. I don't think, but the timings have gone off a little bit on my screen. So it's a little bit impossible to tell as we got a Racing Point that just spinned it. And it's Pazik. The guy that I predicted to win the race has had a spin. I shouldn't really predict top threes, to be honest, because that happens. That person spins. So that's not good for Pazik on the soft compounded tyres. He has to go for the medium, surely. But the orders changed completely. Jack still takes the lead. Nick Zana, P2. Calix, P3. What happened to the Williams of Aluminium? He dropped 2 positions. Sig's dropped quite a bit as well. Zorro, I will have to check about Zorro. Zorro's dropped down 1. Burke, Rage Quit, Meto, TX, Ace has gained 5 positions. So Nick Zana and Ace, the ones that gained the most out of this formation. But let's see, Rage Quit is going to take the shortest line. Here we go into Blanchemont, doing it quite early on actually. But I think the Red Bull's going to get the switchback, that's for sure. Nope, he's not going to get the switchback of Dreams. Obviously, they're all running in quite close formation. Obviously, no DRS is enabled yet. Right now. And obviously the pit window keeps changing right now. And it is possible around here some of these guys to opt for the 2-stop. But not quite though. So the gaps haven't really helped me as much, so it is hard to tell. But all we know is Jack is leading with Nixana nipping at his heels. Nixana was in P2 last week in the race as well, but he qualified in P2. So that is the thing that is good. He's good at, I think, obviously Nixana is good at race pace. He just wants to make sure that he just gets penalty free and not cause too many incidents. He should be absolutely fine about that. So apologies about the times, guys. Let's see if I reset that, if it should refix the times. Yes, it did. So it's refixed the time if I did that. So there we go. So Calzig's not a lap down. Do not worry. He's got aluminium behind him, though. So obviously, since it's a long lap, it's going to be a while before, obviously, the DRS is enabled. And we got our first time penalty of this session with Ace getting a time penalty right now, but aluminium is looking very feisty on the Calix into Blanchimont. We got a yellow flag. It is Pavel who's out of the session. Where did he been in? Let's go on board with Max. I think it's going to be a bit too late. We're on board VSC anyway. Calix has pitted. So he's taking, I'm sure he's taking advantage of the virtual safety car. Let's see anyway. Hopefully his pit crew is ready for him. Pazik is also going into the pit lane. So he's on the hards then. So is he going to make it to the end? Now someone last week took the hards for one of the tyres for quite a bit. I think it was the mediums. And it was absolutely crazy. Honestly, I was not expecting the guys to do it. The one who did it. Can't remember who it was, but I'll need to watch last week's stream after this one. But they can't go above a certain speed in these conditions now. So that means tyre warming. They got to focus on tyre warming. And Terrible Bob has got to set up a drive-through for speeding in the virtual safety car. That's not good. Pretty much, if you have a drive-through, it's pretty much game over. And you do not know that. You do not know that, as I think Nixana doing a bit of tyre warming there as well. Another yellow flag. We go on McLaren. That's Terrible Bob, who's binned it around, I think it was put on into Stabilo. So he's lost a bit of tyre grip. So that means he'll have to pit slightly later than everybody else. And that is not what you want to do. Or slightly earlier, actually, not slightly later. What you want about? Of course you want to pit slightly later, but it depends on the undercut. Now, I tried the undercut around here. I find some people to make the overcut work by pitting a few laps later. However, I think for me, when I race around here, every time I've raced around here, the undercut tends to be the most powerful. But it might be just me though. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Jack using quite a lot of his overtake this early on. And he's going to be forced to use the overtake to defend as well. Because he will know that Nixana will be using it to attack. And there we go. We got another. No, we haven't. Oh, Berg's binned it in. Oh, that was close. That was close from Burke. But luckily, he got the car back intact again. So he goes into Bruchau and into No Name now, but in a dismal 14th place, having lost 5 positions. Pazik being the biggest loser out of everybody today. He has dropped down 13 positions. Sig has dropped down 3 positions as well. Kalik has dropped down 9. Obviously, he pitted. So we'll see if that early undercut for him pays off. Now, I would like your opinion in the chat, guys. What would you have done? Do you think the undercut would have been powerful for you? We'll have to wait and see. Zorro, 5 tenths behind Aluminium. Now, on this game, I've noticed, because obviously they have the overtake button, and the overtake button is just as OP as the DRS. If you're using overtake, if the car in front of you is using overtake, and you're around 4 or 5 tenths behind, there is literally no way you're going to get past. It's going to be very, very difficult. You've got to be at least a few tenths behind to make the move, because otherwise it's just not worth it. And that's what Zorro is going to be doing right now, going into the Kemmel Straight. He's going to be taking the longest line. Here he goes. He's going to take the racing line, and he gets it before he gets to the Kemmel Straight. But can Aluminium have another look into Legcom? No, he doesn't. I think he's forced to concede for now. Nixana getting his first penalty of the session. So I wonder if that will come back to bite him towards the end of the race, I wonder. Probably might be, you know. Rage quit 6 tenths, well, 9 tenths behind Sig now. Sig slightly putting the pressure on Aluminium though. So, I mean, I think the more that these guys keep battling, the more that the guys behind are going to start to catch up. And the more the guys like Aluminium can pull away. Or Zorro, in this case. Obviously, Nixana is a bit further away from some of these guys as well. So it should be interesting. So in about a lap's time is when the pit window will start. But will we see the undercut? Will we see the undercut happen right here and right now? And speaking of undercuts, Nixana's doing one. As I said it, right on cue. And I wonder, to be honest, I wonder if he was watching my stream. I wonder if he was watching my stream, because that was just so lucky there. So, and he's on the softs. Oh, he served his drive-through, I think. He served his drive-through. We got the 2 Red Bulls fighting, and we got TX fighting as well. Rage Quit spun, and he reset to track. I don't think you're meant to do that. But here we go. Here comes Rage Quit around the inside of Darian. Oh, that's not good. Lock up. That's getting Darren a bit more time into No Name. You've got to be careful not to hit the slot-assist curb either. I know I've said that quite a few times on this stream already, but it is a worrying thought, obviously. And no sign of the weather being different, so that means these guys can, some of these guys, they can run a little bit more of a conservative strategy. And it is quite intense for some of them, because they may start to push in the final one. So let's see what Darian can do. Here comes Darian. Going around, going to defend to the outside. He's going to try and go to the inside, actually. He's doing well to hold on to that line he was trying to commit to, and he does it. Meanwhile, whilst the battle was happening, we have got Rage Quit in the pits then for the undercut. An actual proper undercut. So is it going to be mediums or is it going to be hards? It is going to be mediums. Mediums can make it to the end, of course. There's someone that just asked me, how do you join the league? Unfortunately, sign-ups for European Racing Series is now closed. Because we got too many sign-ups, basically. And Kalex has retired. Now, let's go on board with Rage Quit, because it might be now Rouge. And, oh, ow. That's not a good crash. And we have a safety car. So, that's bad timing for Darian. If it was a lap later, he would have been fine. That is a shame for the Renault driver, but for the likes of Jack, Zorro, Aluminium, Sig, TX, Meto, Ace, Hydrodan, Set, Nixana, and Burke, it is a free pit stop. They are going to be so relieved. But for the likes of Pazik, it's just gone from bad to worse. Pazik is like, no, not another safety car. Well, not a safety car. There was a safety car. I think there was a safety car last week. Yeah, we don't want to go too much into the stream about that, Calix, but unfortunate to see what happened there. I think someone got overtaken in the safety car, so I think he could be forced to get that position back. So let's see, we got Jack in the pits, Zorro in the pits, Aluminium, Sig, and TX. Obviously, Darren staying out. Wonder's staying out because he's on the mediums. We got Meto, Ace, Hydrodan, Set, Nixana, and Burke. All going into the pit lane. So it's pretty much a no-brainer. The only ones that are in front are the one that's just pitted. So Darren's your net race leader, because obviously Darren pitted a month ago, a lap ago. And Dirt Chotler's asking, how is the test race going? Well, it's been going not too bad. Some good battles from these drivers. And we got a safety car. There we go. And this is going to be key. If I was Pazik, so Pazik went on the mediums. So he went for another stop. Well, to be honest, for Pazik, he had nothing else left to lose in this situation. So he did the right thing to pit. But the ones who haven't pitted yet, obviously were the ones on the mediums, and they might have shot themselves in the foot. I usually do my strategies and time my strategies well based on the grid ability and the likelihood that there could be a safety car. If a track is likely to cause a safety car by certain drivers in the league, then I'm almost certain starting on the soft will be a viable option. However, you'll never know when the safety car is going to come out. So it is a quite difficult decision to make. And yes, I said La Rouge wrong. I'm rubbish at pronunciation. So, I don't think the safety car is going to come in this lap, because I think we're still waiting for one more person to catch up, and that is Max Thorne, of course, in 17th place. And then once Max Thorne has caught up, then we can begin racing. Yay! So quite a few people in a points paying positions now. Wonder is pitting. I wonder if we pitted a lap earlier, it would have been better. So we will see. Thanks to NRG for the follow. Nice to see you, by the way. Welcome to the stream. And I'm just looking at the safety car conditions. Who's going to be the most to gain and who's going to be the most to lose. Now, obviously, Sig lost quite a few positions from that safety car as well. Jack has got to make sure he gets past traffic. And if he doesn't, he could be the one that loses quite a bunch of time. We've got Nixana as well. Nixana had a drive-through. If it wasn't for that drive-through, that strategy would have been perfect. He would have been right up there with Jack. I mean, that is just saying things. You may think, you may watch it and think, right, what could I do better? But, you know, Sometimes practicing safety cars does help a little bit, but you can't replicate safety cars. Yes, I am the voice. Yes, I am NRG. And I'm back on Saturday. Good news. So, let's look at penalties then whilst we wait for the safety car to come in. So, Darian has got a drive-through and he still needs to serve it after the safety car. Jack has got 1 warning. Zorro has got 2 warnings and 1 penalties. Aluminium has got 1 warning. Sig has got 2 warnings. TX, no warnings, no penalties. Rage Quit, 1 warning. Ace, 2 penalties and 3 warnings. Hydrodan, 1 penalty and 1 warning. Nixana, 1 penalty and 2 warnings. Meto, 2 warnings. Set, 1 penalty and 1 warning. Burke, 3 warnings. Pazik, 4 warnings. His final warning before a pen. Terrible Bob, drive through with a warning. And Max, 2 warnings. And Wonder, 1 penalty and 2 warnings. And obviously the other 2 have retired. So, good timing when I talked about the penalties. The safety car's in this lap. The safety car is in this lap. So it's time for Darian to floor it. And he floored it quite late on, actually. So maybe this could be the breakthrough that Jack needs going into turn 1. But quite a few people are making some good moves as well. Pazik dropping a bit as well. The racing points are just not having good starts or restarts at the moment, which is absolutely going at the moment. He could be under threat from set going into Eau Rouge. And this could go downhill, and I do mean literally for Pazik. And I've got to say, that's going to be sad if that happens. As Terrible Bob drops down in to 16th place. So both of the McLarens are in last place. So we will probably see quite a few people be a lap down pretty much. So obviously it's a long lap anyway, but we'll see. As, oh, Ace has spun. It looked like Ace has spun just before No Name. That is a shame. Ace was running brilliantly up until this point. He may have either the tyres were cold and he didn't warm them up enough, and that is the danger, perhaps. That is gutting for the Mercedes. He's got a lot of work to do, but the race is far from over, of course, right now. Let's see what Jack can do. If I was Jack, I would be worried. He's got to take risks here. He's going to take the inside line. A little bit of a swerve from them. And Zorro's going to cut back on them. Oh my God, this is going to be 4 wide. Someone has got to back out of this move, surely, into that source, because otherwise it's going to end horribly wrong. But Darian still retains the... I think I called him Damien quite a few times this stream. And I do apologise. And Zorro up in second, with Jack in 3rd place. Aluminium in 4th. Still quite close together. Obviously no DRS until the 3rd lap after the safety car. But here comes Darian, trying to defend. But here comes Zorro. Oh, a little bit of a touch. Oh, I think Zorro and Darian just got a little bit too risky there. So Jack had inherited the race lead. And he just said, thank you very much. And he was the one that benefited the most out of that. And he's now going to try and increase that gap to a sensible amount if he wants to win this race. And some of these guys have got to avoid penalties. Don't forget, corner cutting is strict, I believe. And we already seen in last week's test race that the more penalties you get, the more you're going to go down positions. And that is not what you want. You don't want to go down positions, to be honest. Meanwhile, Hydrodan is going for a move past Burke. We'll see Burke up doing a lot of aggressive defending. Oh, Burke's going for the risk. He's going for the risky dive bomb. Nixana, Nixana, I think, went for a big dive bomb there. Quite a few people went for a lot of risk there. TX, I believe, got damage from that, which obviously is a bit of a shame for TX. So let's see what TX, he's got quite a bit of damage. So he's got to change his front wing. And he's coming out down in 16th place, which promotes quite a few people up now, which is relief for some of these drivers. And for Pazik, he's on a combat charge again. Pretty much, potentially, for the second week in a row. And to be honest with you, who would have thought it? Because I thought he spun. He spun at the end of the first lap. I thought, nah, his race would be over. But he's just continuing to perform strength to strength. And Meadow spun as well in no name. And it might have been a lock-up for Meadow because I don't think he got caught up in any incidents. But we may have to watch we may have to watch someone's POV later on to obviously find out what happened from Meadow. But let's see if we can make a comeback, shall we? Sig now in P4. He's out of DRS range though, compared to everybody else. Whereas the train behind him, they're breathing and being the prancing horses. Let's see if Burke is going to do enough to gain. It's going to be a tight call if he does it, but you never know. And thank you, Ginger Monkey, for watching. We'll see you next time for another stream. And Bert's going to now try and go for a move on the Kemmel straight now. He's very, very close. I'm going to keep an eye on Aluminium and Jack as well to see if they can make the run into the Bruchal. But here comes Bert into turn 4. As Bert takes the right-hand side line, he's decided to stick to it. Now goes to the left. And Bert says, thank you very much. That is my position gained. Now, someone has asked me, is this on the PS4? Nope, it is not. It's on the PC, my friend. It is on the PC. So Burke doing quite well with himself. 5 laps on those mediums. And it'll be a good time on the stream to actually tell you guys who is still yet to make a stop. So, A still yet to make a stop. Darian still to make a stop. I thought Darian made a stop. Darian did a drive-through earlier. That's probably why. So quite a few drive-throughs. So they will probably be going. The ones who are still yet to pit, they're most likely on the medium compounded tyres right now. So potentially, maybe they will have to go on into the soft compounded tyres. That would be what I would go for, at least. Always, certainly, anyway. But meanwhile, who is going to be the biggest gainer of this race? Now, one thing I forgot to mention, but before I do that, Wonder Tome did this brilliant move on Pazik. Now, no one, I believe, is on the hard tyres except Max. And Max, I believe, might have disconnected because he has ghosted. That is not good for Max, I must say. So for the battles that are around about 2 tenths down, it's just the question is as well, who is going to be the first person who's going to blink? Who's going to be the first person that's going to be right? You know, they're probably not going to blink yet, but there could be the danger if some other people blink. It could have serious consequences if people don't know how to do defending. To be honest, it is hard to defend on this game. I find it quite difficult, but obviously starting to get used to it. And we've got a yellow flag. Who is that? That might have been someone moving someone out of the way. I'm not entirely sure, but it was down Flea Blanchemont anyway. I was obviously able to see it on the track map. But heading through La Source now. Look at Zorro though. Zorro is really much the horse here. He's gaining on the Williams. Williams has been in second for the majority of it. Jack also covers him off as well, but it doesn't quite work. Aluminium though locks up, and Jack got really lucky with that move because obviously Aluminium locked up. Sig also trying to do the same move into Lecom on Nixana, but let's watch Noro. Nora gets the move on Aluminium, so Aluminium has lost one position. So challenging for the lead for Aluminium is going to be a lot more tricky than intended right now. But like I said, with some of these drivers, never say never. As Hydra Dan is going to go side by side with Pazik. Pazik's going to take the left-hand side by the looks of things. But I think he's going to be forced to stay back a little bit. But that's not a smart idea. Looks like Hydra broke a little bit too early there. So Pazik probably gained a bit more time. It'll be interesting to see the lap times regarding these guys, to see how it would have affected each other. Obviously, I looked at the penalties earlier on, but I was not paying close attention to the lap times. And this is something I really should be doing pretty soon. As 4 attempts now, Pazik and Hydra. And Wonder, interestingly enough, is on the soft tyres. Oh! Wonder late on the brakes there. Hopefully no damage from the racing point. But if so, they might be considered to the stewards. Don't forget, they still look at stewards' incidents. But here comes Wonder's going to take the risk now. But his tyres are going to be not the best condition compared to everybody else, of course. So this can affect him quite hugely, actually, going into the last couple of laps. Everybody else, though, the top 6 running on 7-lap-old softs. Mediums, sorry. And what I hope, to be honest, is for a safety car. I hope there's going to be a safety car because that can shake things up absolutely massively. But we'll see. We'll see. All it takes is for someone to make a mistake. Obviously, we don't want safety cars in real life, of course. But look at Zorro, how he was hungry for that move. But I'm guessing he wanted slipstream, so that's why he had to move out the way. Sometimes it's a mistake I do when I go for moves. I suddenly move to either the left or the right straight away. But then I realise I can get the tail of some people. And that can really just help me just go past them quicker. And that's what Zorro's trying to do. But Jack can actually see Zorro coming from a mile off. And that's why Jack has been doing some very good defending. And for him, he stays in the lead. He's been in the lead for most of this Grand Prix at the moment. So very, very impressive right now. Nixana getting a 3-second time penalty. due to multiple warnings, of course. And I won't be surprised if everyone has got a penalty, but obviously we will check after the race. So if you want to find our penalties, we'll do it after the race. Only a few people did not get penalties last time about. So fair play to the ones who have not got penalties so far this race. I don't think we're going to get... I don't think we're going to get a similar situation to last week. Well, obviously in real life Grand Prix, where obviously the tyres were punctured with the hards. We could see it on the softs for some of these guys. Don't worry, Darren is not on 16-lap old softs. It's just a glitch with the game that it likes to have, and it's crazy. So unfortunate that it does that, really. So, Zorro, this could be his third chance now. He's ever closer into the Camel Straight. He's going to go for the lunge now. This time, Jack couldn't see him, so he had less time to react. That means Zorro takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix so far. Could this be the race-winning move that he was looking for? Potentially. That could be the race-winning move. All will be revealed pretty soon. As they're now trying to make sure they don't bottle it in poo on or lock up or anything like that, because it's so easy to lock up, especially if you're on the latter stages of your medium stint. And for some of these guys, they may be running no assist at all, so obviously it is easier to lock up with ABS. I can't run. I can run with... I'm trying to say with ABS, I can't run it without it. ABS is my baby. I do not know why. I know it slows me down a bit, but it happens. It happens. And I think we got a ghost as well of 8 who's being lapped, so that's going to help Zorro get some DRS actually into obviously the Camel Straight. And we got Max and TX going for a move as well. Max still ghosted though, so surely that's going to be an easy move for TX to go past him potentially, which he does. That's both of the Alfa Romeos in 9th and 10th. We got a yellow flag. That's one of the other Mercedes. The Mercedes are not having the best day in the office. I have got to say right now, that is a bit of a shame for Seth and Ace, of course, who were running so well before, and then their races have come to blow with a few spins. I think the spins for both of them is what costed them this race so far. Maybe just a lack of grip. Obviously, when I was speaking to Ace quite a few weeks ago, it was he's committed to run no assist now. So for him it's harder not to spin. But you know, it happens at times. It happens. To be honest, without ABS, I keep spinning loads of times. So these guys are doing it a lot better than me. And now we're going on to lap 20. 2 more laps to go of this race. Can anyone challenge Zorro for the race victory? It's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. I mean, Jack has really got to put his elbows out. But the danger is, he's run out of the ERS now. He's in the red. That's not good. That is in danger territory. That means Aluminium has caught up with him by quite a lot right now. I did say that overusing your ERS too much with your overtake could cost you a little bit longer, but obviously we'll have to find out shortly as the session goes on. Wonder, we got Hydra and Wonder going for the move of the Camel straight. Hydra's got the move on Wonder. Hydra's up to 8th place. Brilliant stuff. And Hydra could see Pazix right in front of him. He can taste it. He could feel it right now. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in Hydra and shoes right now, but can sense going for the move pretty quickly. And we got the Red Bull. Doesn't want to give up. He's hungry. And Sig obviously with the 3-second time penalty. And people on a mixture of strategies could change things quite a bit already. Oh, look at this! TX! Where did that move come from, TX? What an absolute send for TX. Absolutely fantastic. And Wonder has gone for a little bit of a spin there. And that's not good. That is not good. As we now head towards the penultimate lap, can the two Alfa Romeos really fight for some really good points? We'll have to wait and see, of course. I think TX is a little bit further back to make the move. And Aluminium got past Jack. I did not see that coming. I wasn't paying attention due to the fact that there are so many other battles going on. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I think, unless Zoro has loads of penalties that we know about, I think Zoro is going to be winning this race. I think Zoro has this one in the bag. Unless he bottles it. What is helping him is a DRS from Ace, or Set. And it is Ace, actually. Is Ace getting penalties with this blue flag, or is it glitched somehow, or has he left the session? I'm not entirely sure, but it's probably Ghost in the way. So we are on the final lap of this race. This is going to get so intense right now. So let's see if Zoro could have what it takes. He has the advantage at the moment. Everyone has lost DRS around him now. So that means Aluminium can't get past. Jack can't get past. He lost the lead. He was definitely the one that had the most to lose out of this situation, which, to be honest, it's a bit of a shame right now. But there we go. And Ace has left the session. Oh, typical on the final lap as well. His internet was just doing so well up to that point. That is just, that is so gutting. So gutting right now. But Zoro has driven absolutely fantastic tonight. He is planted the car in all the right places. He got the job done. He started in 5th place. He's now going to come across the line. And he's going to win in Belgium for test race 2. No, it's not. Zoro's got more penalties. He drops down to 3rd. Aluminium takes the win with Jack in 2nd. It might be Jake, actually. I might have pronounced it wrong. Zoro in 3rd. Burke in 4th. Sig in 5th. Nixana in 6th. Pazik in 7th. TX in 8th. There's going to be a drag finish to the line between Rage Quit and Nixana. But with penalties, Rage Quit gets ahead. TX gets ahead as well. And we got Darian. He comes across the line. And we got Meto. And then we've got Set comes across the line in 15th. Ace already come across the line in 17th. And Wonder is in 16th. But I do believe we've only had 2 retirements. So here we go. Celebrate. Wait, what? I'm confused. I thought. Wait a minute. Max did not win. Max did not win there. It appeared on my screen. That was weird. So Aluminium wins from Jake, from Zoro, from Burke in 4th, Sig in 5th, TX 6th, Rage Quit 7th, Nixana, Pazik. It's just... And then here are the rest of your results, with Pavel and Cowlix being your retirements. That has been it then for European Racing Series this evening. Thank you guys so much for watching the race. And we will see you next time for some more European Racing Series action. Have a good evening.